Now, we've heard, of course, throughout the day how changes in technology have really meant a lot in the banking sector, and particularly, I think, in one area here, particularly in Pakistan, the growth of microfinance. It's an industry that's provided many challenges, but we've seen some tremendous growth in this, and indeed we're going to hear now from a man who has the second fastest branchless banking in the world, actually. So some tremendous achievements in microfinance here. We'll examine a particular case study, and again, hearing from a gentleman with years of experience in corporate banking, investment banking, who's packed it all in and come back here to Pakistan to actually run the Tamir Microfinance Bank. He is the Chief Risk Officer. So please, a warm welcome for SHAHID Mustafa.
Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, rather. We're going towards the evening fast. It has been a long day, and I'm sure you'd want me to kind of speed up and try to cover this while still trying to explain to you what interesting thing Easy Paisa is going to offer to the people of Pakistan, is already offering. Before I jump into my presentation, my question is, as far as financial services are concerned, what does this man need? When we came to Pakistan and set up Tamir Bank, the question we had was, what does the common man, what does the poor man of Pakistan need in terms of financial services? Pakistan has approximately between 12 and 14% of formal banking sector penetration. That means that about 86% of the adult population of Pakistan has no access to banking. Compared to that, I would say almost 100% of the population of Pakistan has access to mobile phones. So what is it that the mobile phone companies are doing right and the banks have not been able to do right for the last 60 some years? So that in that lies the answer. And State Bank of Pakistan figured it out, and in 2008 came out with something called branchless banking regulations. Now, in a highly regulated industry like banking, the branchless banking regulations are a revolution, and it is such a huge revolution that few years from now, 5, 6, 7 years from now, we will be looking back and saying, look how everything has changed, and the reason of that change was back in 2008 when the branchless banking regulations were introduced. What these regulations say is that banks, other than their own branches, can now appoint super agents, and these super agents can open accounts and conduct banking services in the field, and the staff need not be banking staff. And so it is a huge change in how business is done. So the question here is, what does this bank need? Maybe he needs to pay bills, transfer money locally or internationally, receive international remittances. Maybe he's taken a microfinance loan, he needs to pay the installment. Maybe he needs to save money. Okay, this is actually, just a minute, let me go back up. Just a minute, I have jumped to the last slide. Okay, here we are. So Pakistan is a very underbanked market. This is not a very readable slide, but this little green thing in the middle, the dark green column is Pakistan, which has only 14% banking penetration. Compared to that, Singapore is 100%, Sri Lanka is 59%, Thailand is 60%, Bangladesh is 32%. So that is just to highlight that Pakistan is way behind everybody else. This second part of the slide is that people are involuntarily executed. What that means is that people are interested in getting financial services, but the system is designed in such a way that it does not support the banks, the institutions that are supposed to give them those services, to be able to give it to them. Pakistani banks have about 10,000 branches, and it is economically not viable for them to provide services to people who are not able to save beyond a certain level, and that's why they discourage them, and that's why these people don't walk in and don't save money or don't get formal financial services, and that's why they depend on hundi and hawala and things like that. So how did it all start? As I said, 2008 there was regulations. Then Telenor and Tamir Bank started talking. Telenor bought 51% of the new shares of Tamir and became the majority shareholder, and together they signed an agency agreement where Telenor is the super agent of Tamir. So Telenor is at the same time the majority shareholder as well as a super agent. And how is the work divided between the two? What Telenor brings to the table is national outreach at a low cost. Telenor has 150,000 agents. EasyPaisa today uses about 16,000 of those. So what that means is that EasyPaisa has more customer touch points than all the branches of all the banks put together. They have a strong brand. Obviously, everybody in this room knows what the Telenor brand is. And they have a large existing customer base. On a daily basis, Telenor sells about 25,000 new SIMs. If those 25,000 people can be persuaded to open an account at the same time, you can well imagine how fast Tamir can grow in terms of bank accounts. What does Tamir bring to the table? It brings the license, the banking experience, and essentially the back office processing. Putting them together, we have a winner in which we are doing huge amount of transactions, which I'll show you in the next slide. So what does an EasyPaisa agent location look like? It looks like this. These are small general stores, mom and pop stores, where you can walk in and send money to anybody, receive money that has been sent to you, receive an international remittance, save money in your account, pay your bill at midnight. In fact, we have 24-hour MIS coming in, and people pay their bills at 4 in the morning because they can. And the huge rush is on the last days, so it is all there. EasyPaisa, since its launch in October 2009, has done over 100 billion rupees of throughput. While it took us 2.5 years to do the first 100 billion, it will take us less than a year to do the next 100 billion. That is the speed of growth here. We do approximately 50,000 domestic remittances every day. That is 50,000 people go and deposit money in EasyPaisa and 50,000 go and withdraw money. We do approximately 100,000 bills collected every day. So how has the world taken this? CNN has Tamir and EasyPaisa and Telenor reported in one of its stories. CGAP has written extensively about us. Al Jazeera has also talked about us. GSMA, Tamir and Telenor and EasyPaisa are the talk of the town. EasyPaisa today is the second fastest growing cell phone / branchless banking offering in the world. We are in 2.5 years among the top 5 in the world in the number of transactions and customers. So this is one of the success stories of Pakistan, and I'm sure all of you are equally proud of it. This is just a slide to show you what the services are. I will not go into them in a lot of detail. This slide just shows you the number of transactions and the values done. 9.3 million transactions were done in 2010, 15.8 million done in 2011, and on a going run rate we are doing about approximately 3.5 to 4 million. So we are easily going to top about 40 million in 2012. And